Hello, everyone. I hope everyone's doing well. It's been several days, hasn't it? Like, it's been at least 9 days or so since I did my last reading. I decided to do something interesting and get in contact with Jennifer Syme. Instead of doing something on Keanu, I decided let's see if I can talk to Jennifer Syme and get some cards on her. I don't know, she just popped into my head last night. I wasn't really planning it, but I was just sitting there and I go, Jennifer. And I looked her up. She was born December 7th, 1972, and she passed away April 2nd, 2001. So she was 28. She would have been 29 that year if she had lived to see her birthday. Um, I don't know, she was just popped into my head. I guess she was contacting me, knocking on my door. And I go, oh, okay, let's pull some cards on her. And something really funny happened because when I started concentrating on my cards and uh, then I started shuffling, a card fell out immediately before I even could finish shuffling. It like just popped out like boom, and it was the Empress card. The Empress card here. So she was telling me that she was the Empress. She was the first love. She was the first Empress. And this also represents pregnancy. So she was pregnant with his child. We don't know that, but it was funny that this was the very first card. And I was still shuffling and I hadn't finished, completing my shuffling. And this usually never happens. So um, it was followed by nine, nine of cups, which to me indicates that this was a very happy time for her and for Keanu. It's definitely showing you the merriment around this gentleman. He's very happy. He's very content. They're enjoying themselves. They're looking forward to having this child. Yes. So this was a great time for both of them. And then I got the Six of Swords. Now this is not like the Tower card, but to me, it's somewhat represents the Tower card because it says transition there. You have a man and woman and a child, and they're transitioning, going somewhere, moving away, going somewhere. And so I just feel this probably represented the death of the baby in the womb. Okay, the death of the baby in the womb, causing a major, major transition for them both. It was very unexpected. And I think it really blew her mind. This is a devastating thing to experience, I think, when you're a young woman and it's your first baby. This is just something you don't want to experience. They were on top of the world and then suddenly, boom, just crashed, and shattered just everything, shattered hopes and dreams. And the very next card was this card, Ten of Swords. This card is one of the most depressing cards ever. It's equivalent almost to the Devil card to me. But the way it's drawn, the 10 knives in the back just means major defeat. Like you're just on the verge of death. This is what this card always represents to me: verge of death. You can't even, get up. Get up, and it would take days, many months for you to recover. I've heard of people like when they're in this state. One actress, now, what was her name? Robin Givens. Something happened to her back in the 80s or 90s. You remember Robin Givens? And she locked herself away for 2 years in her house. She closed all her curtains. Her house was as dark as could be. I think she had delivery service. She would not come out of the house. Something happened. I forget what her issue was, but that's what this represents to me. Something similar to what happened to Robin. Just closing all your curtains, locking all your doors. Your house is as dark as could be. You won't come out. You're just crying all day. You know, and on and on, and you have no contact with the outside world. This is like one of the worst cards. So this to me represents when she uh, really just, you know, couldn't deal with it anymore. Now, also, these all fell out too as a group. So I took them. I said, I'll just take them because this also represents the accident. I asked her about the car accident. Okay. And she was worried. And Keanu and her had a breakup too. So there was some kind of breakup. We have the hangman here. But this is her weariness and losing control of the vehicle. Okay. The 7 representing not only the combativeness or something going on for her and Keanu and breaking up with Keanu, but also losing control. It says losing control of her car. But it was followed by the hangman, which is a major arcana card, a major moment. And the main word that always strikes me when I get the hangman is sacrifice. What does that mean? You sacrifice something to get something else. What does that mean? Right? So I asked her, what does that mean? What is sacrifice? And I could hear in the back of my head a woman's voice. And she kept saying, I was sacrificed. I was sacrificed. I was sacrificed. And then she started to fade away. It was clear as day, though. I could hear it in the back of my head. Sometimes I'll pick up, voices from entities in the back of my head. Since I was a child, I've picked up, communications with people from the other side. And it's always usually from the back of my head up to the top of my crown. I'll feel this sensation back there and I could hear a voice. Sometimes it's as clear as I'm speaking right now. And then sometimes it's very faint. And her voice was kind of faint and then it faded. But she said, I was sacrificed. I was a sacrifice. And then she faded. And I couldn't get any more information from her. I did ask one last question after that. And I said, do you have any last, any last things you want to tell us? And I got the 8 of Cups, meaning this was highly disappointment. It's highly disappointing to her. It's a highly disappointing situation. Something you just, I don't know if she's forgiven it, having experienced something like this. But she was highly disappointed. She lost the love of her life. The best maybe love ever. They're still connected. She's still alive, but she's on the other side instead of being over here. I think she would like to be over here still with the Keanu and the baby. But she is at least with the baby. The very last card I got was the Sun, number 19. And when it reduces to 1, that means new beginnings. So she is on the other side with the child. See the child right here? And her name is Ava, right? Ava Archer Reeves. So at least she's with her baby. They're not separated. And they're waiting for Keanu when it's Keanu's time to transition over to the other side. So I just thought I'd share that with everybody. I think she wanted to say something to everyone. And it kind of makes me cry, It's very sad. But I am going to try to find out what that means more about the sacrifice. Because I hate saying it, I don't even want to talk about them. But, Hollywood is known about being involved with sacrifices and things. It's kind of dreary, and I don't even want to go there. But I have a lot of information about sacrifice in Hollywood. Is it true? Well, when people keep talking about it, I wonder if it's true or not. They won't let it go. They say the Illuminati or the elite in Hollywood sacrifice a lot. They sacrifice people. They sacrifice babies. They sacrifice children. So, is it true or not? I just don't know because I've never been involved or known anybody, but when we do these readings, and I've heard other readings where people said they were sacrificed or saw a sacrifice or know somebody who committed a sacrifice. I've heard of that stuff over the years, but I only have like secondhand or third hand information, right? But it's just really strange that people over the years believe that that's what the elite do. Okay, everyone. I want to thank everybody for subscribing. I met my goal of over 300, and I want to encourage you to keep subscribing. It's a slow thing, but I'll get my 1,000. I think sometime this year. Once I get to 1,000, I think I can do a little bit more with everyone. I can do lives and things like that, and also participate in I think the payment structure, how they pay people here who are on YouTube. I don't know how it works. I haven't really looked into it. I've been just so busy, so busy. My neighbor just had a baby. She had some twins, and I didn't even know the twins were born. And now I'm gonna go to Target and get some clothes or something, some baby bibs or something, and go knock on the door and meet the babies, the twins. They were born like about 2 weeks ago, and I didn't even know. I thought the babies were, still in her womb, and that she wasn't due for another like maybe 4 or 5 months. So see, that's what happens when I get really, really busy. I get distracted. And I don't want to be distracted. I got to get back to that, quiet place. And I am in a quiet place right now. I'm going to be just in meditation today, and yeah, trying to stay aligned and just have fun today. I'm just going to be in my room, concentrating, focusing on my goals and my intentions. But I want to thank Jennifer Syme for coming through and allowing us to do a little reading on her and to let us know she's still okay. But, yeah, that was a disappointing event in her life, a very, very disappointing event. And, hopefully next time around, they're do it better. Sometimes you do a second go round, and if she decides to come back, along with Keanu and all of them, maybe next time around it'll be a better situation. But you never know really what was behind the reason for the loss. What was it? To teach her something? Was it a lesson? Was it karmic? Just don't know. That's for her to know. I didn't go that deep with her. They only could tell us so much, and the rest is a mystery.